However, there are mixed messages, Professor. You know, there are mixed messages that come across. When you speak about the word war and say that that war still exists, you know, it almost suggests that we are in a conflict situation. Now, are we really in that kind of conflict situation of a violent confrontation? Because that then leads to fear. Then the minorities feel fearful if Mohan Bhagwat is to say that a certain section of Hindus will be aggressive. I mean, why do you need to condone their aggression?
Rajdeep, when you say that my path is the only path, this is the only reality, then you are breeding the element of intolerance towards other religions. When you say that Allah is the only and nobody else is to be worth worshipable, then you are breeding the grounds or elements of intolerance. Let me hear. No Indic religion has said so. It is only and that is why when Bankim is saying the entire medieval period is a chronicle of rape of Hindu women, destruction of our temples, and what was the idea of jihad, by the way? So this is what he is referring to, and still you are carrying that kind of a mindset, Darul Harab and Darul Islam. That means the land, which is the land where there is Islamic rule, and there is a land where Islam is not the ruling entity. That land has to be converted into the land of Islam, and therefore, you know, increase the population, convert.
But can you generalize? The question is, Shahid Siddiqui, maybe Mohan Bhagwat needs to be more specific in making these distinctions. On the other hand, should Indian Muslims also be conscious that there could be groups which are using this extremist language, are reflecting it in their actions, who also need to be rejected, excluded, condemned at all times?
Rajdeep, it's unfortunate that our, co-citizens and people around us do not realize that Indian Muslims have been in the forefront of opposition to extreme Islam, to extreme interpretation of Islam. They have all along not fallen in the trap of Pakistan, not fallen in the trap of Al-Qaeda or other such organizations. Indian ulama unitedly have condemned all these ideas of jihad, all these ideas of annihilation of other groups, and in fact they
can I ask one
praise Indian Muslims
Professor Raji has a question
standing
for
up
you.
to
Yes,
terrorism, standing up to
Shahid, Professor has a question for you. Just a minute. Yes.
Please, let me finish. I have been listening to everybody.
A small question, Shahid.
Yes.
Deoband India and Deoband Pakistan have the common syllabus. They teach 11th century Hidayah text, which is talking about the aggressive jihad, which Arif Muhammad Khan also talked about. Deoband Pakistan, along the Durand line, both sides is breeding, the terrorist.
You can have a separate debate on the syllabus of the madrasas, but the point is,
you've asked the question, let him respond.
Don't take Indian Muslims as a part of the global Islamic group. Indian Muslims are unique in their own way. You must accept that. You want to force Indian Muslims into the
are you saying that
global Islamic force. You are forcing them, but they are not. They are not ready to do that.
Who led the movement of Pakistan were not part of the Indian Muslims? Are you saying that those who went to Pakistan, they were not the Indian Muslims? Rajdeep, I'm not getting into a debate with him on the issue of partition. That's a separate debate and will require lot of information. And so these generalized statements are of no consequence. The Deobandis and the Muslims in majority opposed partition. The vote was with 13%. People only had the right to vote, and out of that, hardly 5% voted, and out of those 5%, only 2.5% voted for Muslim League, and they were voting for Muslim League because their landlords were standing, their Nawabs were standing. They were voting for the Nawab, not for the idea of Pakistan. A common Muslim in a village had no idea what exactly Pakistan was and how partition will happen. These things happened in just 1.5 years. So let's not go into the history. That history will require a lot of information. So if you're digressing from the debate
then I don't like
Okay,
it. We believe in building bridges. We want Hindus and Muslims to come together and build a new path. If we are going to go on quoting what Sir Sayyid said in 1868 or someone else said, then there is no end to it. Indian Muslims in the last 70 years have shown that they stand with India and they do not support. They do not support any kind of extremism. Indian Muslims are the most moderate and most sensible citizens of this country, and therefore we must respect them and we must support them in their fight against any kind of extremism.